Hoi hoi, it's louisity again, and for this reading vlog, I'm going to read Gimo Jr. and the Aswang Clan by Andrew Jalbuena Pasaporte. Hoorah! So, as you know, I had an interview with Andrew Jalbuena Pasaporte, and this is one of the little tokens that I got, which I appreciated much. And the reason why I also accepted that interview as well, if you've seen it in my channel, is because, you know me, lately I've been getting into middle grade lately, especially middle grade fantasy. So I felt why not give it a chance? The author approached me, or the publicist approached me, I should say, and I wanted to give it a try and support Filipino authors as well. So yeah, I'm definitely excited. I've been wanting to read this one ever since I got it, ever since I spoke to Andrew, and shout out to Andrew, more power. This book is also available now in some fully booked branches, I believe. So I'm definitely excited for me to dive into this one. It's Philippine folklore, Philippine mythology, aswangs. So count me in. And yes, without further ado, let us begin reading this one. So here's a reading update. Now, I'd have to say that the depictions of these suburban Philippine, places were depicted really well, and how the subtle things about the Filipino culture was depicted, the whole birthday party thing. I don't know. I just felt like I was reading something that was typically set in a suburban, Philippine, place, you know what I mean? Because that's kind of where I grew up. And also, when they were talking about the origins of Danny and what really happened, and the whole thing about the village and all that stuff, I was seated. I felt ooh gosh, that was creepy, and I was seated about what was going to happen. And that's when Eddie, Mary, and Danny were okay, so we figure out that you two are Aswangs. Who knows? Eddie might be an Aswang later on. Yeah. So far it's been really good. Now, so far my comment is, the card, some of the card games, and I'd say some of the things or the phrase the damn it part. I felt it might be more suitable for a little bit of an older audience, not really too old, but kind of 12-year-olds, or maybe 11, but 12 would be safe. I remember when I was in third grade, someone was called out because they said damn it during class. So, and I was 9 years old at the time. So yes, I do think that just that part, because well, technically, the characters are 12 and 13, so yes. And it's not exactly about the age sometimes, in terms of if a book is YA, middle grade, and all that. Sometimes it's what, basically the themes that are or the way that the characters or the characterizations are. But yeah, but overall I've been enjoying it, and yes, I do think people that are early teens or late middle grade, kind of 11 or 12-year-olds, will enjoy it. And yes, I love the references of barrios, suburban villages. So I'm seated about what's going to happen next. So I'll catch folks later. Whoa. So here's a reading update. Now I'd have to say that the pacing is so far not the cleanest or the smoothest, but overall I've been enjoying the story. I'm definitely feeling the emotions that were like going through, Danny with the discovery of his father and their identity. I just think like it could be more succinct yet detailed, more substantial, like some of the scenes like from the training, from their discovery of like the town, and yeah, but I'm definitely excited about what's going to happen next. You can feel like the stakes, especially for a middle grade novel. You can feel that they're now getting into more of who Danny is as an Aswang. We get to know what's going to happen, like, about Teniente Gimo, and what I'm just curious about what's going to happen next. Like, basically what happens, like, Mary, Eddie, and, like, Danny got separated. Danny gets to meet his father, and Mary gets to meet, like, the villagers. So, and I love, like, you can really feel, like, the Filipino vibes for this one, like, the way that, Danny's like adoptive mom really cares. Portia, how she cares for her son. So, yeah, the events could be a little bit. There could be a little bit more. It does feel a bit bare sometimes, but I think it's still a decent story. So, I'll catch you folks later. So, as you notice, I just got my haircut, and it is now time for us to pick our next read from the TBR Fake Jar. Hoorah! I love doing this. They provide like excitement, suspense, like the uncertainty of what am I going to be reading next is something that I really want to experience all the time. So I'm going to be getting like the next read with help. It's not a prompt, a TBR prompt jar. It's just like the titles of the books that I plan to read next. So I'm going to be putting this one in top of this. There you go, so you can see. I'm going to be looking at the viewfinder. I'll pick this one. What did I pick? I think this is something I recently. Oh, okay. Okay. Alright. I think I have this in audio. Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman. I realized the clip earlier, it didn't show it clearly, so I'm just kind of like zooming it in or zooming on it. So I already finished reading Gimo Jr. and the Aswang Clan. While some of the sequencing or the pacing were like rough, overall, like that last scene, or towards like the not really the last scene, but like kind of like the climax where they were facing Gimo and Maria Labo, I felt like the action was done, pretty well. It was pretty good. It's something that you can see in like a movie or like a short film or something, or like kind of like a TV show and all that. It was pretty good, and I love like the family bonding that was shown throughout the end. I believe like the Philippine culture, in terms of like family ties, were definitely depicted really well in this novel. Yeah, and honestly, for me, based on like some of the scenes, I'm really thinking, is this a standalone, or is this going to be like, or is there going to be a companion novel? Because I feel that, I think that we're still going to get more. Well, but yeah, overall with my reading experiences, it was fine. There were still things that need to be improved, but overall, it was decent. There were some good things about it, and I like the fact where it talks about like exploration of your identity, trying to defy what people would think who you are and all that. And also just one thing that for me lacked was like the disappearances. Like, yes, we know that there were people that disappeared, but then like we didn't hear back like how it even affected like one of like the what you call this, like relatives or loved ones, like, you know, their emotions in relation to like um, the disappearance of their like relatives or loved ones, you know. And it doesn't have to be like long, because I do understand that this is a middle grade novel or intended for middle grade audiences. I think that there's a way to do that in a succinct manner, and, you know, not overwhelm your audience. So I just keep on reading, like, and every now and then in some of the scenes or disappearances, there's not going to be any more disappearances, but like there wasn't any sort of resolution in that part. So yeah, that was my other concern. But like I love how like the bonds, and you can have like the little teenage love towards the end. So yeah, that was really cute. And I just feel like there's got to be more, like based on Danny's thoughts and that thing about Mary's scar. Hmm. I wonder if there's going to be another story. I just wonder, like, if there's going to be some sort of a companion to this book. I know, like, I think I asked this during the interview with Andrew. He did mention that it is like a standalone. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, we'll leave it up to Andrew. And yes, overall, I'm giving this book 3.5 out of 5 stars. Let me know down in the comment section below if you have any plans of reading Gimo Jr. and the Aswang Clan, or if you've read it and your thoughts. And if you've made it this far, leave a delivery truck emoji. So I hope you folks liked this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Also, click that subscribe button and hit that little bell icon so we're down there to keep yourselves posted about my videos. Also put down links and handles of my social media accounts, so feel free to check me out and follow me there and support me there as well. As always, thank you super much for watching. Always be thankful and unleash the reader in you. Bye y'all.